Hi, hey, hello peeps, it's Sunny, and this is the premiere to a new segment on the channel I entitle EP Discoveries, where in this I essentially talk about EPs. Now if you're not too familiar with music too well, you're thinking, what in the fuck is an EP? Well, don't worry laddie, let me explain. EPs in music are essentially the middle ground between a music single and album, i.e. the mini album. Kind of like novellas or TV movies, but for music, where it's too long to be a single, but too short to be a full-length album. Usually an EP is categorized by either having 4 to 6 tracks or having a runtime between 10 or 30 minutes. And yeah, that's an EP. And sometimes artists just say whatever the fuck and calls anything an EP, even if it doesn't make any sense. So basically, I don't fucking know either. If it's labeled as an EP, it counts. So in this segment, I essentially review 8 EPs. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Your 8 EP discoveries from me. Enjoy. Spiral Scratch is the first release from Buzzcocks, an English rock band. It was one of the first British punk rock releases, and I really enjoyed it a lot. The only drag with it is that it's not really against it, but in terms of overall composition and approach, yeah, it's nothing too distinct with English punk rock. Yet to be fair, this is one of the early instances of it, and therefore obviously it's going to be simple to today's standards. Yet it's still great in every other department with great delivery and overall arrangement. This only contains 4 tracks, and the way they save it is great, starting it off with 2 solid tracks and then ending it off with 2 really great ones. It's a perfectly serviceable appetizer to what was to come from this band, and it's a solid little EP. If you want to listen to some early English punk, not having something super duper wild, go ahead and listen. I'm actually quite familiar with Arctic Monkeys, hearing some of their tracks and really enjoying their aesthetic, especially the song I think everybody knows, 505. And yeah, that song is great. Thus, I finally listened to an entire Arctic Monkeys extended play with their second EP that actually released in my exact birth month with Who the Fuck Are Arctic Monkeys? And whoa, I need to listen to their shit for real, cause like god damn, what the fuck, man, this shit was heat. It was just flawless. A 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, 20 out of 10. Like fuck me, man. Only 5 tracks and it feels like a proper self-contained release. The first 2 songs, The View from the Afternoon and Cigarette Smoker Fiona, are some great all-out rock material from Arctic, and it's really listenable. It is the tracks Despair and The Departure Lounge, and especially No Buses, that really clicks with me, as it shifts from a hard rock to soft composed rock, being sentimental and playful with its words, rounding out with a great combination in the self-titled track. It's just a surprising thing to listen to, as it's a greatly well-rounded and tightly knit piece of music that works amazingly as they started to get into this band as a whole, and I'm sure we'll be getting into them now after seeing their talent here. If you're like me and RA, I had Arctic Monkeys on my playlist kind of person, listen to this and see if you're willing to check out their discography. It's a great little surprise. The Cost of Living is an extended play by The Clash, an English punk rock band. So I guess the English just like their fucking EPs. Anywho, this was an EP with a lot of intent put into it, as it serves as a transitional record in the band's discography from their intense punk into the more American rock and roll influence. And even if you're not a rock or even a Clash fan, this EP is fucking iconic. The track I Fought the Law is literally insane with how timeless this one is. You have to have at least heard of this, and it's a great opener, but alongside its closer of Capital Radio, that is an excellent way to close this, as this is an EP that plays it smart, putting 2 really great songs in the middle of its 4-track listing, and leaving the opener and the closer as even far better, beginning and ending with a bang. Sorry. It's got some great production and fusions of its intended tones. Makes me really want to check out The Clash, and is an overall serviceable release as though it has a purpose. You don't need to be a fan of The Clash to enjoy it. It's a nice quick little dip to a bit of the punk and rock and roll pull. My Iron Lung is the third EP from British rock band Radiohead. These music I've never ever heard before in my entire life. Yes, I'm a fraud. Though let's just say, expect something soon on the channel. Anyway, yeah, this is quite an incredible EP and one that has really hooked me in on their style. It's kind of a combination of a lot of familiar rock, and it still makes it all of its own creation with really fantastic compositions that make each track of this 7-song listing really stand out creatively and have a lot of them be really captivating, though every song is solid and upwards. The overall writing in this is great, and the overall dreamy, sentimental, emotionally hard rock really hits and makes this quite a unique experience to listen to, as this extended play as a whole really feels like its own proper album. Personal favorite tracks from here are The Trickster, Permanent Daylight, Lozenge of Love, and The Closer, which is a live bit. This really does a great job of making me want to check out Radiohead's entire discography, which I will be checking out some of it very, very soon. So yeah, if you want to get into Radiohead, check this one out. It's a great sort of setup, if you will. Blue Hawaii are quite incredible, and this EP has sold me on them. The great thing about EPs is that since they provide more than the usual single, but not too much to make it an album, they give us enough to really grab onto an artist's music, to really make us want to check out their stuff. And I fucking love electronic music. So, now I'm sold. Under One House is one of Blue Hawaii's extended plays, and is 1000% up my alley. Only having 5 tracks, it all flows so perfectly together into one cohesive experience, and has this incredible style and production that makes us feel like a nighttime electronic beach walk with some crazy ass lucid visuals going on in my head, and it feels so splendid. This is clearly one of those artists that really hits when listening to at night, and it's just such a marvel to the ears, with the hard ass fuck beats and tones on this thing, really engaging sounds that make this incredible for such a small project. If you love electronic music like me, check it out.
Never knowing when the internal book is gonna try and write the pages all.
Hannah's Little Sister are really quirky, and I enjoy their vibe. EP MP3 is pretty serviceable. It's pretty stellar for the most part, yet in terms of its overall aesthetic and production, it's very heard before, nothing truly unique. It is still a serviceable work of music, as it's got the right kind of energy and quirky antics to make it a fun listen, with a short listing of tracks that all work well together as one mini album that really showcases this band's passionate charisma. It's fun, kind of lighthearted, kind of edgy, it's cute all around. This band feels like something out of a fucked up preschool parody show you'd see from like Adult Swim or some shit. It's solid and fun. If it's your kind of quirky, go listen.
Same routine settles in last Friday.
Yeah, this is up my alley. This was like a straight up girl boss 2000s teen flick in all the best ways. It's got my exact kind of vibe I adore from indie rock. Beach Bunny are for sure an artist I'll be following as I'm really into their music. It's nothing revolutionary or anything, yet it's got its own kind of fun and very upfront charisma that is something I need more of in life. Every track is stellar and fun to listen to, with great production, delivery from the lead singer, great arrangements, and overall fun flow that operates this as an astonishing, well-rounded EP that if you're into indie rock like me or want some energetic feminine music to check out and get you not exactly empowered yet feel badass and is never once dull or cringe, this is the project for you. Pretty good. Blair. I like him. I like emo music. What can I say? Nothing really stood out like amazingly with this, but nothing stood out like a sore thumb either. So I liked it. Only 3 tracks, all pretty solid. I might have listened to some of their other stuff to really be hooked in. But I like it. It's good. Maybe you'll love it more than me if you're into the emo scene like I am. So yeah, Tears to Grow, go check it out if you like emo music. Maybe you'll get more into them like me. Yeah. Now the video was originally supposed to be 8 EPs, but I actually was told to check this out by the artists themselves on Musicboard, which, go follow me on there if you're on there as well. So yeah, I'll talk about it. This is fucking incredible. For a clear newcomer with only 2 EPs to their name, Pompous Tinkers, I'm hoping I'm saying that right, are underrated as fuck, and this EP is fucking incredible. Only 3 songs, it's literally amazing. Like, holy shit, it's got this alternate dimensional binding rock aesthetic to it that is quite gratifying. No, like, seriously, check this out. It's actually really fucking good. And go support Pompous Tinkers. This could actually be the start of something truly amazing. This was actually a really surprise to my eardrums. Overall, those are all the EPs I've been listening to in the realm of music that I really enjoyed. Do you listen to EPs? EPs are a really fun middle ground necessity for music, as if an album is too long for your chill time from life, or maybe you want to listen to an experience longer than a song, EPs are the thing. Let me know if you'll check out any of these out, or if you already have, what was your favorite? Let me know if you want to see this segment continue. Other than that, it's been Sonny, and so long, farewell, and goodbye, my peeps.